I am Caroline Hollister. Welcome to the Park Theater. I am the president of the Board of Trustees, a group of volunteers who are leading the effort to restore and reopen the Park Theater. This is the Park Theater, built in 1922. It's been dark for 35 years, and it's ready to be restored and renovated. And there are a group of citizens supported by all the communities around the Monadnock region who are doing just that. Today, we are beginning the long series of taking from the theater those valuable, wonderful assets. And we are removing the murals. Painted, here is one painted in 1941 by a New Hampshire muralist, Carl Eric Nelson. He was funded by the WPA, and he came here during that summer to paint the four views of Mount Monadnock in the 4 seasons of the year from the 4 towns that touch the mountain. And behind me is Marlborough. And we have Dublin, Troy, and Jaffrey, all wonderful views painted on muslin with tempera paints, and they are about 9 by 17 feet in dimension.
Yeah. That's all right. We can actually put this one just across here. It's fine. Then we can reach our stuff.
Here is your plug for the vacuum cleaner.
Good.
Rob has been on our board and was one of the first board members to help get the theater started and up and running and come up with the eventual design, stick to the cultural and historic integrity. And right here is a photograph of Romulo Van Nuys' house and theater in its heyday. He had a screened-in porch, and the house was built in 1815, was lived in by the same family from 1847 until he bought it in 1915. And it sits right on top of his grocery store and the entrance into the barn, and you can see the last vestige of the barn roof in the back. And this was 1950s up until the time he died. The lower drawing is one of the owners was David and Betty Sawyer, and they envisioned refurbishing the theater and painting it red, and some of the inside is now red and gold, and turning it into strictly a movie house. And this was an artist's vision of what David and Betty Sawyer had in mind. Ours is still different. We are taking the Art Deco that was inside the building, and we are bringing it outside to create an Art Deco 1922 facade that will make the building consistent throughout.
Once you get going, this stuff, it just slips, but there.
That's what experience.
Time-back management.
Okay, so let's take this and we'll flip this piece over as well.
Beautiful work surface.
You know what? I'll get up on the other side so we can kind of...
I was thinking we could put the plastic, kind of plastic this way.
We have one seat there that should be slid off.
Okay.
Just let me...
Yep. Here we go.
I'm ready.
This is, we felt we could hold it up sufficiently high. We're going to lower this down until you can. Okay.
Got it? Yep. She's got it?
Yep.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Good. And then we down. We're going to vacuum them front and back. We're going to see what the mold situation looks like on the other side, spray them as necessary with denatured alcohol, And then we're going to remove the top boards and roll them sideways for storage. These are old water stains right here. And when it comes time to really conserve these, we'll work on those water stains and then do a little in-painting and they'll just disappear. There's some major water stains up through the middle.
Was done in there,
right up through the middle there.
And
we can basically make them disappear. They're not completely gone, but you won't notice them. You've got things like cobwebs, and you've got loose dirt, and you've got overall, well, 1941, so 70 years of dirt.
Well, it is 10:11.
There we go. And then our length image to the old line.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. Well, I'm below the seam. Are you at the seam?
Well, the seam is here and then it dips down, just
sure
like
does.
the corners do.
But
So,
what have you got now?
15.3.
And then down here.
15.3.
Yeah, 15.3, because we are missing some little. We got rough edge up here. Coming at you.
We began about 5 years ago with the purchase of the theater, made possible by donations from more than 800 people in the region from 11 towns, 13 states, and even one foreign country, Singapore. Having bought it, we have done all of the engineering and the assessments and the designs, strategic plans and business plans, concluding with a fundraising feasibility study which says, yes, there is interest in the theater, there is sufficient financial capacity in the region, and we should move ahead. And move ahead we are. We were awarded $500,000 in tax credits by the Community Development Finance Authority by the state of New Hampshire. And we have 21 businesses in the area who have contributed to the theater by buying these tax credits and giving the money to the theater through the state. We've completed our board campaign, and those two funding sources are 25% of what we need. In the near future, we will be going out to the community at large to raise the rest. And in the meantime, we are taking the necessary steps to preserve and protect the historic treasures that are in the theater. We have removed from the theater some of the playbills that were last hung in the 1970s. We're now taking down the murals, and we will preserve them and store them. And gradually we will get all of our valuable historic assets out of the theater so we can begin renovations.